One night I was walking, me and my husband had words. So I left home and didn't tell nobody I was leaving. And I was homeless in Orlando for a few days. And I started out with a hotel room, but as time goes, you don't have money, and I was away from home, didn't have no way to make money. So either way, I was homeless for a couple days, getting my daily bread and all this stuff. Hadn't slept, didn't have nowhere to lay my head, didn't have a shower. And I was walking. I had mental health problems, so I went to a couple of people and I asked them if they could help me out and send me to the hospital so I could get some sleep and get some medicine and get right. And which the medicine don't even really do nothing, but at the time I thought it did. But anyways, I was walking in the middle of the road. That's the thing, I had been turned away by the cop. Literally, showed up, told me he was taking me to she told me she was taking me to the mental institution. She drove me all the way there, but she didn't walk me in. So they ended up turning me away. So I walked across the street to another mental institution that just so happened to be there, and it was the same deal. So I was mad, tired, hungry, and I was just walking in the middle of the road, and there was a dead body in the road, but I didn't notice the dead body was there. I just was in my own little world walking, trying to find somewhere safe to lay my head, and this cop stops me. And I'm not even in the middle of the road. I was in the median. There was a road on this side and a road on this side, and I was in the grass. And the dead body was all the way over here on that side of the road. I was nowhere near it, nowhere near the cones or nothing. I was just walking past in that median grass area, and this lady cop stops me, and she says, "Don't you have no respect for the dead?" And she was yelling at me. And I looked at her and I said, "Leave the dead to bury the own dead." And I started walking again. And she grabbed my shoulder and she pulled me around to her, and she started yapping at me. And eventually I was like, "Look, woman, if you're gonna shoot me, then shoot me." If that's how I felt. If you're gonna kill me because I quoted the Bible at you and you're in that much of a hissy fit, go ahead and pull that gun on me. So as soon as I said that, though, there was a man cop there, and he pulled up. Or he didn't pull up, he walked up. And he put me in handcuffs and put me in the back of the cop car, and he sent me to the hospital because he said that I was a danger to myself or other people. But that's a true story, y'all. And that was literally a demon manifesting in that woman, because I was not. That's the thing, that night there was a lot of evil manifesting. It was a crazy night. But I ended up being where I needed to be at the time, and I got a nice, safe place to live for a couple months. I was in the hospital for 2 months that time. And because I was in the hospital for 2 months. You want to know why I was in the hospital for 2 months? They would not let me go because I would not back down from saying that I'm the bride of Christ. That's the whole reason why they wouldn't let me go. Because I wouldn't stop saying that I was the bride of Christ. Because I kept saying, I am the bride of Christ. I'm marrying Jesus Christ. And they kept saying that I was delusional and I wasn't ready to get released yet because I was living in a fantasy world. Honestly, let me have my own beliefs. I wasn't a harm to myself or other people. I was ready to go weeks before that, but because I wouldn't back down on what the Lord had told me, I did. But when you're in the isolation like that, especially in the mental institution where they take away all of your comfort items, you ain't even allowed to have a hair tie up in there. But it brings you closer to God, because literally all you have is God. And I just know, like, he literally held my hand. Whenever I first got to the hospital, I told them that I hadn't been drinking or eating anything. I was fasting, that they weren't going to be able to get any blood from me. And they were so obsessed with getting my blood, dude. They had 3 different people try, and then eventually they weren't even going in a vein. Like, it was demonically possessed people for real, because they went right here. Hold on. They went right here where muscle is to get blood. But God held my hand. He literally, like, there was one guy in there that was not arguing with me and fighting with me about the blood, and he held my hand while they were taking my blood. And that gave me enough comfort, because not only I had a thing about blood, and I had a thing about, like, not mixing iron with clay. And really, I've matured a lot. But whenever I first came into Christ, I wanted to please him, and I didn't want to miss. Like, he showed me everything, dude. I got a Left Behind dream, and I wasn't trying to be left behind. So I changed my life for him. I gave up everything. But when you give up everything in this matrix, you're the odd one out. Like, spirits and principalities don't like that you're escaping the matrix. And they try to go after you. But they kept telling me I needed to take my medicine, but pharmakia sorcery, like, you ain't supposed to take that medicine, dog. But I just take my snake venom, my sniper bite. I do that just to appease the people. But I'm literally in a prison. Like, not really, but this world is a prison once you've been awakened to the real world.